Hi, I'm in a different location in my house today. I've been actually thinking ahead about summer and the fact that my kids will be home and that every sound is picked up in these recordings. So I've been getting this little space ready and I'm test driving it today, giving you a little sneak peek. And I'm liking it so far. I think it's going to work out great. I'll probably use it between now and the start of summer as well, just to get used to the energy. I might use the old space here and there or other places, but this is going to be super helpful to have over summer. But I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about something that I discovered on my healing journey that really caught me off guard. It really had me questioning even my identity a little bit, and it really messed with my mind, and it was very confusing. And it has to do with the fact that the further and further you get along your healing journey, the less and less motivation you might feel toward goals that you were once very passionate about. It's not that you're not passionate about them still, it's just that the energy and the motivation that you once had toward them is less accessible. And I'll use my story as an example. So, when I was an undergrad, I was also in the military, and then continuing into grad school and beyond, I would describe myself as very driven, very motivated, very high energy when it came to anything that had to do with creating my future career, essentially. Willing to sacrifice anything, sleep, money, time with friends, rarely ever went out, just so driven, so energetic in all aspects toward that endpoint of getting to where I wanted to get. And what I found was that the further and further I went on my healing path, the less and less drive I felt. And yet I still had the same goals in many cases. Some of the goals shifted here and there, but I had a hard time really finding that fire. And this process was gradual for me. It just started to get harder and harder and harder the further and further along my healing journey I went, to the point where it reached a culmination point where I'm like, who am I even? I've always thought of myself as this really driven person, and I didn't feel that way at all anymore. And I didn't know how to make sense of that. I didn't really understand why. It's very destabilizing, I would say. And what I started to realize is that so much of that fuel that had been driving me in the earlier years was about hustling for worth. It was fueled by hustling for worth, seeking the approval of people who might be impressed by whatever I achieved, kind of trying to win the approval of others with success. And I think that a lot of people experience this wiring, and then as you start to heal from it, it no longer is as accessible to you to use as fuel to propel you further in your career path or in your goals or whatever it is you're seeking. It's sort of like, wow, well, if that's not what's fueling me anymore, what is? What's the new fuel source? Or is there just no fuel source and I'm not a motivated person anymore? It's a really confusing process to sit with. And so, what I want to share is that I think there is a process we can go through to access a new source of fuel and to really get to push through this barrier that can really inhibit our ability to sink into our calling. I would hate for anyone to get stuck in this plateau phase of no longer having access to the old fuel and thinking that it means that this is it, because it's not at all. When that happens, we're being asked to really stop and do some shadow work and some deep healing work around what is it that really, truly is my why? What is my real purpose here? What is it that I am doing this for, truly? If it's not to seek approval, then what? Then what is it? And how do I figure that out? I believe that we can really hone back in to that forward momentum sort of place when we are more heart-led, tapping into anything that feels like it generates something along the lines of love or joy or fun or excitement. that sort of energy, or even going about your day and noticing what is it that makes me feel lit up and starting to pick up clues along the way in terms of what's deeply aligned with my heart, moving out of the mind space and more into the heart space. I jotted down some notes here. So what I jotted down is your spirit wants to expand beyond the mind's understanding. Let go of the mind's desire to figure it out. When it does try to figure it out, it will slow the process down. Meaning, like, if you were trying to build momentum, when you get into the mind space, it'll slow your momentum down. It'll kind of work against you. So returning to the heart will help you to tap back into that flow, where getting up in your head about it is going to pump the brakes. It's going to make it really hard to create forward momentum toward what it is that you're wanting to be doing. But the thing is like, once you do get in your heart, it will start to create its own momentum because it is so in tune with your true frequency. When you align with your heart, what comes next is going to be in alignment with your highest timeline and allow you to manifest from that point. I think that that's really powerful, because what it is that we feel love for, we feel excitement and joy for, is going to align us with our core frequency. And because your spirit is wrapped up in that, it's going to create all of this energy that is like beyond what Hustling for Worth could ever create. That's a little of what I'm experiencing now. When I decided I wanted to start doing these videos, it was really hard because of a lot of fears and blocks and stuff like that. But once I got it going, I feel like it's become really effortless when I compare it to the hustle and grind that I would have to use to accomplish goals in the past, when I was operating from the fuel that is Hustling for Worth. This feels so much different. I would say that that was more like old school fuel, and this is like clean energy, clean energy fuel. It feels like I don't have to work up a lot of motivation to do these videos because they're fun. I don't really think a whole lot or care a whole lot about the fact that I don't have very many followers on YouTube, or that I don't get hardly any likes or something. It doesn't really factor in because I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it for the future benefit of whoever my videos do align with. And I know that those people will find me. I know that they will. I have no doubt. I don't have to like really work hard to get myself motivated to shoot a new video, because it's just so in alignment with my heart. It's so in alignment with my core frequency. I think that tapping into that, whatever that is for you, it could be anything, right? It could literally be anything that lights up your heart. When you find that, it will feel easy. When I'm in a session with a client, it feels easy. It feels like effortless work. It feels like presence and pure love and a calling. And it's not effortful at all. It's easy to find the fuel to continue doing that. It's easy to do this. It's easy to, when I write, it's very easy to access motivation around writing. When I'm in the flow, it really is, it's almost like I could write all night and not sleep. Again, it's not fueled at all by Hustling for Worth. It's something else entirely. It's this clean fuel that is based on the fact that what I'm doing in these moments and in those examples is deeply tied to my heart's signature. And that in and of itself helps you tap into a whole other level of fuel. I will also say that there is a spiritual element to this. I believe that when we tap into our heart space, because this is part of our soul signature, and soul is part of source, is part of God, that's where we're getting the energy from. It's not really ours. It's being poured into us in response to the fact that we have accessed our truest self, that we've accessed our center, our ooey gooey center, and source, God, wants to reward that, wants to, it's like, yes, this is why you're here. More of this. Here's energy to get you going, right? And so it's a little bit about like breaking the habit of using that old fuel source and starting to shift and divert to using the new fuel source. I hope this is helpful. I hope that this spoke to something that resonated with you and that you can apply it in some helpful way in your own life. And I'll come back with a new video soon. Bye.